The innumerable universes are produced from the pores of Mahavishnu's body. So this is a very remarkable that everything we see is existing in one universe. We're in one universe now. And there's innumerable universes. So where does the universe come from? They emanate from God, specifically from the pores of his transcendental enormous body. The dimensions we can hardly fathom, but this enormous form of God, the first form of God in the material nature, this material atmosphere, then these universes, after this material nature is impregnated, it comes out from the pores of his body. And that's where within each universe he incarnates again. All these material elements diversify. And it's not like there's only one universe, unlimited, millions of universes. And that's what each of these spheres are. So we're trapped in one of these little bubbles, and we're thinking there's only life on planet Earth. Within each one of these universes, there's millions of planets, millions and trillions of planets. So this is keeping the whole picture in mind. Now, I like this one because it shows the difference between this is all the cloud. This is under the cloud of material energy. So we're currently in this region. We're in the cloud. We can't perceive that spiritual realm, but beyond this is the spiritual sky. That's what we read in the beginning. There's these transcendental spiritual planets with ever liberated souls. That's where Krishna is, the original form of God. So, as innumerable atoms pass through the tiny holes in the screen, innumerable universes similarly emanate from the pores of Mahavishnu's body. As he breathes out, innumerable universes are produced. And as he inhales, they are annihilated. All of the energies of Mahavishnu are spiritual. They have nothing to do with the material energy. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated the predominating deity of each universe, Brahma, lives only during one breath of Mahavishnu. So now we're getting into the time scales. The lifetime of one of Brahma, who's like the engineer, the creator, he's the sub-creator. Krishna is the original creator. He manifests everything, but he manifests the creator of each universe, and that's Brahma. Brahma lives for 311 trillion years. One day is 4 billion, um, some billions of years is one of Brahma's days. So time is also relative, based on your body, you experience time in a different way. For us, we have our experience of one day, but that's just that's extremely short for higher beings. For example, our 6 months is equal to one day in the heavenly planets. 6 months for us, that's one day in the heavenly planets. And then going upward for Brahma, 8 billion years, that's like one of his days. For us, 8 billion years. That's a lot of hundreds of millions of years. And all of that for him is just like one day. Then for him, his lifetime, which is 311 trillion years, a lot of those days, that is one breath of the Supreme Person. Inhaling, exhaling. So we can't really fathom these figures, this time frame. But the point is that the Bhagavatam has a very scientific understanding of the process of creation. You know, And it becomes important when we want to get out of here. When we want to actually transcend this material nature, we have to know how we got here. Why are we bound here? How does it all work? That's what this knowledge is for. Now, as he breathes out, innumerable universes are produced, and as he inhales, they are annihilated. So the material universes, they come out, they have such a long time, trillions of years, then they go back. They're actually destroyed, annihilated. And this process goes in perpetually, eternally. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the predominating deity of each universe, Brahma, lives only during one breath of Mahavishnu. This Mahavishnu is the original supersoul of all the universes and the master of all universes as well. Now, this again, we're describing one of the Purusha avatars. This is only about one avatar. Now we're going to the next avatar, the second incarnation, Garbhodakshai Vishnu. He enters each and every universe. So within each of these universes, then, God incarnates again in another form within each universe. And what happens with that form? From his transcendental body, from our body comes material things. From God's body comes transcendental things, spiritually charged. It says per the perspiration. So this causal water comes from his body, and he lies down in that water. From his navel, the belly button, grows the stem of a lotus flower. And on that lotus flower, the first creature, Brahma, is born. So this is another Purusha avatar. Let me see where. Yeah, this one, Garbhodakshai Vishnu. So that when in each of these universes he lies down, I think we can find a better picture. Wow, we got some really far out ones. Let me choose one. Okay, this is a painting of the Bhagavatam. So within each universe, actually there's this great ocean. So this is looking down. That's the Garbhodaka ocean in the base of the universe. What does the structure of our universe even look like? It may not be what you think. The Bhagavatam explains Bhumandala, where we are. Actually, this is a good one. So it's not just what you can see with your eyes looking up in a telescope. We need revealed transcendental knowledge. And this is actually verifiable also by modern science, some of the figures. So here we have one universe. Can you guys see that? I hope it's still sharing the screen. One universe here. We said there's many millions. Then the very bottom is called the Garbhodaka Ocean. So this is the very bottom of the universe. The Lord lies down. And this is Anantashesh. Anantashesh is the transcendental carrier of the Lord. Thousands of hoods. This is Lakshmi Devi. And from his navel comes a lotus flower. Now it's a very long lotus flower, and the top is Brahma. He's, as we said, the secondary creator. He's born from the lotus flower that comes. So it's an extraordinary uh, system. It's extraordinary procedure. Here we have normal flowers and things, but These are so transcendently large that all of the 14 planetary systems, they reside within the stem of this lotus. What can we get from this? Everything's connected to God. He has his footprint, his hand fingerprint everywhere in this material universe. In fact, it's bizarre that we cannot be conscious of God because he literally manifests everything and he himself, in one sense, is everything. And he's also transcendently beyond everything. So this is called Garbhodaksha Vishnu. This is the next incarnation. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, he enters each and every universe, spreads perspiration from his body and lies down on that water. From his navel grows the stem of a lotus flower, and on that lotus flower, the first creature, Brahma, is born. Within the stem of that lotus flower are the 14 divisions of planetary systems, which are created by Brahma. In this form, the Lord maintains each universe and tends to its needs. Although he is within each material universe, the influence of the material energy cannot touch him. When it is required, this very same Vishnu takes the form of Lord Shiva and annihilates the cosmic creation. The three secondary incarnations, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, are the predominating deities of the three modes of material nature. The master of the universe, however, is Garbhodaksha Vishnu, who is worshipped as the Hiranyagarbha supersoul. The Vedic hymns describe him as having thousands of heads. Now, the third one, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, this is the incarnation of the mode of goodness. He is also the super soul of all living entities. He resides on the ocean of milk within the universe. Thus, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described the Purusha avatars. So I know there's a lot of information, but the other incarnation of God, the Purusha, is called the Kshirodaksha. And this is the one that resides in the heart of every being. So first he manifests all the universes, he incarnates within each universe, and then he incarnates within every atom of the universe, within the heart of all living beings. And he has different dwelling places. There's also a transcendental ocean of milk, Svetadvip, where the Lord resides as well. So this is all one category of avatar called the Purusha avatars. And this is what this chapter is describing, all these different forms of God. We've covered Purusha avatars. There's also Guna avatars, that was mentioned. Brahma, the first created being. Then from Brahma comes Lord Shiva. When Brahma once became angry, he became very angry, and from between the eyebrows, Lord Shiva emanated out of his anger. And Shiva is responsible for this mode of ignorance, of which anger is a prominent quality. When our consciousness is low, material anger comes. It's a very base level emotion. So Shiva's is different. He has this particular function. He uses anger. So anger can also be used. In Krishna consciousness, nothing is rejected, but rather everything is just used, learned how to be used properly. So even anger, greed, all these things, they have actually a utility in spiritual life also, but you have to know how to use them. Anger is used, for example, Hanuman, in this pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, Hanuman, he uses his anger to kill a great demon, for rescuing Sita, for serving God. So anger can be used in God's service. That's called divine, righteous anger, righteous anger. So Shiva does that. He uses anger. He becomes so intensely angry that he destroys the whole universe. That's his function as a guna avatar. Brahma creates, Shiva destroys. And as we said, Vishnu, this form of God, he takes care of maintaining. Whenever there's a problem in the universe, the demigods can go see God. They can go meet him and submit, hey, this is what's going on planet Earth. There's some terrible calamity. And what are these calamities? Again, the demoniac, because there's two kinds of living beings. Vishnu, there's different verses that explain. Some are divine devotees, and those who are opposite are called the demoniac, because we have free will. If those who use it properly, they become divinely empowered. They can become angels, celestial beings, and ultimately great demigods, administrators on behalf of God. And then when those misuse, someone, other living entities misuse their free will, then they become more and more deranged, more and more egoistic, more and more envious, more averse to God. That's what we see going on in this world. Some enemies, some entities, they're more inclined toward God consciousness, some are more averse. Why? It's just what they've chosen with their free will. So our task is to help provide the resources to help everyone turn back to God, to reduce the demoniac tendency of the living entity, which is to be averse. Sometimes atheistic people, they're averse as soon as they hear the name God, they get freaked out. Why? Deep in the core of their heart, they've developed some aversion. Because of sinful activity, their consciousness is averse to their own source. So therefore, you have this distinction. Some actions are pious, some are impious. The pious actions, they help awaken the consciousness. The impious or sinful activities, they close the consciousness. So therefore, we follow regulative principles to help awaken the consciousness. We don't do intoxication. We don't have illicit connections. We don't eat meat, and we don't gamble. And these help blossom the consciousness. Whereas the contrary helps diminish it. Now, this is in a general sense. We can go into details, but generally speaking, you can look at certain things which really cover the consciousness and certain things which help awaken the consciousness. So there's always some struggle here, and we're only in the middle planetary system. This is going to show us these 14 planetary systems. Here's Buloka, the Earth. So this is in the middle. Now, what do you have? You have 7 below. These are lower realms. There's very interesting things about what's really down below the Earth. Is it really just some magma? Is there nothing down there? No, actually, there's lower realms. And those lower realms are presiding by more and more covered beings. They're more demoniac when you go down, more egoistic, more selfish, more averse to God. And below all of those, then you have hellish realms. Then, if you go up, the consciousness is going up more. You have Loka, more subtle beings, Svargaloka, the realms of the demigods, the heavens. And even in the heavenly realm, there's always conflicts. There can be, even in paradise, celestial paradise, there's unexpected invasions, there's intruders, and it's all the same thing. The free will is either being properly used or misused. Then there's higher realms like Maharlok, Janalok, Tapaloka, and this is for sages, those who are really serious about spiritual life. They don't really care what's going on in these lower realms anymore. They've kind of been there, done that. They want to go to the higher transcendental realm. So on these higher planets, they're preparing. They're doing intense meditation, austerities, penances, all the way up to Brahma Loka, which is the topmost planet in this universe. Then there's different coverings of the universe as well. Now, just for fun, let's go beyond this universe. Should have another image here. Let's see what lies beyond. So, if one does their spiritual life properly, they achieve success in their spiritual practice, then they achieve mukti or liberation from the cycle of birth and death. So here's the universe, many different ones. Then this causal ocean, remember, the Lord emanates all these universes, but this is all in that causal ocean, the Viraja River. Now, guess what? The soul can actually go beyond that. The soul can transcend this Karuna ocean and actually come into the Brahma Jyoti. which is Krishna's effulgence, this brilliant white light, the all-pervading impersonal bliss of Brahman. This is what the Gyan yogis, people who are absorbed in impersonalism, impersonal meditation, they can attain merging into this Brahma Jyoti. And there's certainly an amount of bliss that because it's a type of ananda, but it is not the highest. It is actually impersonal. It doesn't give deep satisfaction to the personal, the who we are as a soul. It's simply one aspect of reality. So if one is even more advanced, they go beyond the Brahma Jyoti. Where do they go? Kailash. This is the realm of Lord Shiva. So the followers of Shiva, they're devotees of Shiva. Shiva, who is a guna avatar, he's one aspect of incarnation of God. And he has his realm beyond, it's beyond the material realm. It's not yet in the kingdom of God. It's in between. And this is his tattva or his truth. Shiva is this kind of in-between position. He's in between the living entity and God. And also his realm is in between the material and the spiritual realms. Then the kingdom of Vaikuntha, the place where there's no anxieties, and the different divisions of the kingdom of God. This is called Vaikuntha Loka. This is what we hear about in the scriptures. And this is some of the different incarnations. And as we're saying, each of these planets has a presiding form of God. There's different avatars. Nrsingadev, he has his transcendental realm. The devotees of Nrsingadev, they go to where he is. He has one specific realm. And there's other incarnations that we'll hear about. This is presided by Lord Narayan, the opulent feature of God. Then, guess what? There's more. Because the degree of love for God can also mature and ripen. And from that great awe and reverence, like wow, just a wow factor, going more into sweetness, deeper relationships of love. One enters the Madhurya Dham. And the Madhurya Dham is the sweetness, and this is where it's all leading to. The beautiful transcendental lotus of Krishna Loka, where Krishna resides in his most personal feature. So in this realm, there's Ayodhya of Lord Ram, there's Dwarka, where Krishna as a king, Mathura as a prince, and Goloka, where Krishna is a cowherd boy. And with Radharani, when we chant Hare Krishna, this is the highest realm that we're aspiring for. So it may be hard to believe, but what the process we're engaged in right now is actually leading to the highest realm of the kingdom of God. And that's why Prabhupada came here with this urgent mission. He said, wow, you guys way down here, you're so absorbed in all of this illusion. But guess what? I'm coming from up here, and I want to bring everyone up here. So that's the compassion of the guru, and that's why Srila Prabhupada is extraordinary. Among gurus, he's very exceptional. Not all gurus are on this level, coming from this Goloka Vrindavan. Most generally come to Vaikuntha. Most forms of God and teachers, they go to this realm where God is worshipped in great grandeur and splendor. It's much more rare to understand the most intimate aspects of God as a cowherd in his transcendental realm. Just this morning, we were actually having a discussion about Goloka Vrindavan, about the Vrindavan features of Krishna. And the very uniqueness of that realm. So I'll just open something here that we read a chapter from Bhagavatam today. And this is the gopis, that means the cowherd girls. They sing about Krishna. So they're remembering all of his different activities. This is the very unique, special love that cannot be found in those other realms. So here, the gopis, they're saying, Mukunda, this is Krishna. He's vibrating his transcendental flute. And this is how exquisite he is that all of the higher beings, they come and get mesmerized by his transcendental beauty and qualities. This son of Nanda who gives joy to the distressed bears his chest is like lightning. He has a smile like a jeweled necklace. When he vibrates his flute, the bulls, deer, and cows, they all become captivated and they stop chewing the food in their mouths and they cock their ears. Stunned, they appear as if asleep or like figures in a painting. So this realm is so extraordinary that all of the beings, just by seeing Krishna, by hearing Krishna playing the flute, they become stunned. And you can see it's a realm of intimacy. It's the most beautiful relationships of souls with God, where they can live in complete fullness, complete friendship, where they actually attain more or less equal footing with Krishna in terms of their friendship. They become friends of God, friends and lovers. Sometimes Krishna, Mukunda imitates the appearance of a wrestler by decorating himself with leaves, peacock feathers, and colored minerals. He plays his flute to call the cows. At that time, the rivers stop flowing. So all of these transcendental inhabitants, they become completely mesmerized. And Krishna awakens them to their constitutional eternal position of love. So each of us has some unique relationship with God by the practice of bhakti yoga that is revived. So this we'll have to go into at some point, but you're getting the idea that these type of exchanges, these beautiful descriptions, these are of the highest realm. As Krishna strolls through Braj with his lotus petal-like feet, marking the ground with the emblems of flag, thunderbolt, lotus, and elephant goat, he relieves the distress the ground feels from the cow's hooves. As he plays his renowned flute, his body moves with the grace of an elephant. We gopis who become agitated by Cupid when Krishna playfully glances at us stand still. So they're becoming shocked by the transcendental beauty of Krishna. All living beings, they become completely mesmerized, entranced, and actually go into a spiritual trance just by coming in contact with anything of Krishna. The sound of his flute, the fragrance of his body, the sight of his form. These are all extraordinarily powerful spiritual experiences. So we invite everyone. There's one book we have called Krishna Book. The Krishna book is specifically going to describe all of these different activities of Krishna in the spiritual world. You can see here, even they have fun, they have games, but it's not ordinary material games, it's games on the platform of eternity, pure friendship. And here, even the demigods, they come down to earth because Krishna appeared on the earth planet to witness all of this, to observe all of this. So he wears a flower garland. The beauty of his soft cheeks is accentuated by the brilliance of his golden earrings and the whiteness of his face. With his cheerful face resembling the moon, the lord of the night, the lord of the others moves like a regal elephant. Thus he returns in the evening, delivering the cows of Braj from the heat of the day. So this is the highest realm where it said God doesn't have to do anything. He's God, so he doesn't have to like work a job, get stressed out. No, he's here in the transcendental Goloka Vrindavan, playing his flute. He's changing in love with his devotees, and all of his avatars, his incarnations, they're managing all of this stuff. So that's the connection, that these are all avatars of Krishna, And that's how Krishna manifests and maintains everything that's going on in the material and the lower realms, while all the while he can be absorbed in his topmost spiritual ecstasies in love with his devotees. And everything is happening automatically by these avatars, these different incarnations. I don't think we're going to be able to finish all this. Of course, it's so amazing. We could keep going and going. Haribo. Lord Chaitanya next described the Leela avatars, or pastime incarnations. And of these, the Lord pointed out that there is no limit. Still, he described some of them. For example, Matsya, Kurma, Raghunath, Nrsimha, Vamana, and Varaha. So this is another category of avatar. Is that milk ready? Yeah. So these are the Leela avatars. This is another category, and Leela means pastime. So this is all these first avatars. This is all like the very functional stuff. He has to manifest all the universes. He has to lie down and take care of issues within each universe. He has to incarnate in the heart of all people. Leela is more for fun. When Krishna wants to come and have some fun, these are the Leela avatars. So let's take a look at some of the different Leela avatars. Some of you may have heard some of these, or some might be new. Okay, basically, 10 principal avatars are well known. And this is a little painting you may have seen before. And each time Krishna descends is a very particular mission, very particular activity he wants to enact. This is Matsya. Matsya is a transcendental gigantic fish. So Krishna came in that form. Why in the world would Krishna come as a fish? Well, he had to actually rescue the Vedas and rescue his devotee. Now, interestingly, there's a very enormous flood story in the Vedas that the whole universe became inundated. And this and Krishna manifests this beautiful transcendental form of a fish. And there's a whole Leela we can read in Srimad Bhagavatam about that. It was first kept in a little pond. The pond was too small. He kept growing. Then he was put in a river, a lake, the ocean, and then beyond into the universe. And he just was expanding his transcendental form. Amazing pastime we have there. Probably where the story of Noah and Ark comes from, because this Muni, Satyavrata, this great sage, he has to remain on a ship while the whole universe is inundated, and he has to more or less take all this life species with him, and yeah, travel in this ocean of inundation.
Is that in the bottom left, the incarnation of the boar, which he lifted our realm out of the lower demoniac realms and lifted us
Yes,
above them?
yes, very good. You're jumping ahead. And then we have Kurma Dev, the transcendental tortoise. What's the unique quality of a tortoise? Anyone? What's special
The
about what's
the
special about
hexagonal pattern on their shells.
yeah, their shells, right? So you may be surprised to know that the Kormadev incarnation, he has this hard shell and he actually holds up part of this universe. Trying to see if I can. Yeah, I don't have it here, but anyhow, on the bottom of the universe, Kormadev is there, and with his shell, he's holding up so many things. So Kormadev comes. Where's that? Let me pull up this 10 avatars. Yeah, this one pastime, his shell is used for churning. It's a whole Leela there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Then you have, yeah, one time the earth fell down into the ocean, the causal ocean that we were talking about, the Garbhodak ocean, actually, the bottom of the universe, and Krishna had to rescue it. So what form did he take? What's the perfect form for that? A boar. You've seen a wild boar. They're very expert. They go down, they use their tusks, they dig through, they get exactly what they're looking for. It's very mystical, the boar. The pigs are different. Pigs are kind of filthy animals, but the wild boar, it's actually quite majestic. If you've ever seen them in the wild. They're Nrsingadev, half man, half lion. Incredible story why the Lord took the form of a half man and half lion. Basically, there were some conditions that were granted to a big demon that he could not be killed by a man or an animal in the night or in the day, inside or outside, high or low. So Krishna took this form to meet all of those benedictions that were given by Brahma, at the same time do the needful of removing the burden of the demoniac, the misguided living entities. Of course, in this pastime, Krishna came because he wanted a good fight. So he sent some of his associates down because we said the Leela avatars are for transcendental enjoyment of the Lord. And there's always a chivalrous spirit present in human beings. Why? Because everything exists in God. Vamanadev, Parshuram, Rama, Krishna. Krishna, he's not exactly Leela avatar, but he's often depicted in that way. Buddha, Kalki. So these are 10 prominent avatars. As far as the guna avatars, we've covered those. Shiva is a very unique position. The Lord expanding himself as Shiva is engaged when there is a need to annihilate the universe. Shiva has many forms, which are generally numbered at 11. Lord Shiva is not one of the living entities. He is more or less Krishna himself, the example of milk and yogurt. So Lord Shiva is an expansion of Krishna, but he cannot act like Krishna. Just like yogurt. Yogurt is a translation of milk. Very nutritious and healthy substance. And when you mix it with, I have some milk here, actually. That's why he's laughing at me. I'm actually staying at a farm now, and guess what? This is fresh from the cow. You might be surprised, but cows give milk, not just bottles. And here in our farm in Michigan, we have real cows. We take care of them, and they're very happy to give milk. Anyhow, once you mix lemon or acid with milk, it turns into the yogurt. So it's nothing other than milk, right? So Shiva, it's nothing other than Krishna, but he's in a new form. So you can't turn it back into milk once it's yogurt. Yogurt's a different quality. So similarly, Shiva is a different form of Krishna. He's an expansion. He has his service. It does not look like we're going to get through all of this. So why don't we wind it down and continue with this tomorrow? Tomorrow's Wednesday. So we're going to do it again tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll try to do it at the normal time. Sometimes we miss the times, but we do what we can. So I'll just conclude saying that the Vishnu, these are different incarnations of Krishna, but Krishna is the whole. The Brahma Samhita says the original candle which lights a second candle. The candles are of equal power, but still one is accepted as the original and the other is said to be kindled from the original. The Vishnu expansion is like the second candle. He's as powerful as Krishna, but the original is Krishna. So just as you light many candles with one candle, that original candle is Krishna. And that's the original form of God from which all these avatars come. So we'll bookmark it from here, and we're going to pick up next time. Thank you guys so much. If anyone wants to ask a question, comment, anything is welcome. Or we were just along for the ride, a lot of info there. And we can start to think about life a little differently. We can start to see the universe differently. And we can remember that Krishna is the source of everything. Physically, this material world comes from him. Spiritually, we come from him. Everything has a connection with Krishna. And as devotees, we're trying to change our vision to see God in the picture.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So in that diagram you showed, in the spiritual realm, that Shiva acts as a almost like a liaison between the spiritual and the physical realm.
Yeah.
Um, but he's connected into the three of Brahma, um, Vishnu, and Shiva. Like those are the three modes of expression.
Hmm.
But dude, Brahma and Vishnu's form, they're different than Shiva in the way that they interact.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, each one has different functions. So Shiva is actually pretty elaborate. In other words, there's different Shivas. Shiva is called a tattva or a truth. So there's the original Shiva in the spiritual transcendental realm, but then there's also the Shiva in this world and the Shiva who is in charge of the mode of ignorance. But they have a different function, like you said. That's how one could distinguish. You got to go
Thank
through
you
the
for that.
Bhagavatam. Yeah, keep reading. It's going to get into all of this. The fifth canto, canto number 5, it's going to talk about Shiva. We just work our way up. By the way, if Justin or Rod, well, I don't even know if you have a set, Kevin, but these Bhagavatam sets, it's 18 volume. It's the whole spiritual treatise in
Yeah,
spirit.
I have hard copies of them all.
You got all 18?
Yeah,
Oh, good for you. So there's an 18 volume set that we love to share, and we're distributing some last weekend. So if you don't have one, you want to get one, just contact me. We can actually ship one to you if you're not near Temple. All right, guys. So let's try to process some of that.
I had a question real quick.
All right.
I noticed the like spheres that were in the causal ocean,
Yeah.
and I was wondering because I was looking at like particles of consciousness as they pertain to like wave functions of consciousness, as it's like kind of like wrapped in a like a. I was looking at the universe in terms of like a mandala, and that picture reminded me a lot of that, and I was
Mm-hmm.
wondering, like that was a good representation of uh, what that was referring to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes a picture helps. I mean, this is a lot of words, but a picture tells 1,000 words. So that's just brief. There's also yantras, there's elaborate diagrams, and there's the Bhagavatam also gives many remarkable descriptions in terms of space and time and these realms, how far they extend, how far above Earth is the next heavenly realm, how far above that is the higher realms, the lower realms, how far below the Earth they are. So it's remarkable. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to stop here. Thanks for joining. Tomorrow, hope to see you again. Have a blessed rest of your day. Hare Krishna.
and to you, Hare Krishna. Bye.